All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. It is episode 10 of Those Movie Guys, the final episode under that moniker. We are going to be working on a new name, seeing as how 80,000 other people decided to use that name across social media as well. So today is the final day of Movie Guys. We will be rebranding ourselves before we get to next week. But tonight is the first ever Those Movie Guys Nerd Wars. We are going to be pitting David Fott and Jim E. Noble against each other to see just what is the proper movie to watch between two that came out in the exact same year. For the first time, we are broadcasting live on Facebook and simultaneously on YouTube. Welcome, YouTube folks. If you guys, wherever you guys are watching, if you would jump over to YouTube, subscribe to our channel, just look up Big Dog Inc. Or, of course, if you found our little feed here anyway, then just give us a subscribe, kick us a like, and please feel free to join in on the conversation as we go. I am Bing, Tom Hutchison. What's going on? As I said, this is Those Movie Guys. This is episode 10. We decided to do something a little bit special, a little bit different, and we are going to be rebranding ourselves starting next week. So if you all that are watching have thought processes on potential names or ideas for names, feel free to drop them in the comments. We will have a peek at them. Maybe one of them will be chosen, maybe not. But this is the final Those Movie Guys episodes, and then we are on to whatever is next. Of course, co-host tonight returning, Jim E. Noble, with a baseball shirt. Is that what I'm seeing? What's happening there?
No, it's Judas Priest, British Steel, 1980 album.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Breaking the law, breaking the law.
And tonight, well, because I saw the fingers, right? And then I saw the letters that looked like stitching across that top corner. Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay. He's wearing a baseball shirt. All right. Sure.
I'm a sports guy.
Yeah, sports guy. Those sports guys coming next season for football. Those sports guys.
Spin off.
Yeah, spin off. I would be the only one talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And tonight, of course, the third wheel is here. Is Mr. David Fott. He has returned. Also, let's give Mr. Fott, before we get started today, Mr. Fott won a major award this afterning.
I got
this evening.
Major award.
A major award. Why don't you tell them what your major award was, Mr. Fott?
It thanks to Tom for submitting and Yolanda. God, I always murder her name.
Elenia DiNapoli.
Yeah. For doing the colors, we won pinup artist pinup from Geek Culture, Rob and Emeritus. So
all right,
we it was a nice surprise. So thanks for everybody out there for voting and everything. And yeah, we was totally shocked. It was a really nice surprise. So it was a major award. Major award.
Major award indeed.
Yes. So
hold on one second.
Very nice.
We're going to, that was the one thing I forgot to load. So we're going to get that right now because I've got it here. Where did it go? Why is my stupid computer so stupid?
It loves you, Tom.
It does, right? It is just the most ridiculous thing.
Can we load it up?
Like I've just saved it to my computer and then I go look where it's supposed to be and it's like, oh, now we're not going to show it to you.
No, we're going to put it over.
There we go. I got it. Okay. I got it. It always takes like 2 tries and then here it comes. So here, David won a major award today, best pinup, along with Elenia DiNapoli for his Penny for Your Soul and Showgirls tribute piece that he did last year. Major award, thanks to the Independent Creator Awards and all the folks that were, all the fans that voted. BDI did in fact win 3 awards tonight. We won. Carlos Reno won for the best page layout from The Legend of Oz. David, of course, won for the best pinup, and Catnip won for the best character design of 2020. So boom, the first 3 awards given out. Beady.
It was amazing.
I'm just saying. Tell me what other brand won 3 awards tonight.
I can tell you it wasn't Totally Rad.
Totally Rad will be back next year.
Oh my gosh. So Shawnee
for Killer Toaster.
Shawnee is actually watching on YouTube. Shawnee is our first official YouTube comment.
Yay!
Thank you, Shawnee.
Thank you, Shawnee.
Again, we would ask you guys all over to jump over to YouTube at some point. Give us a subscribe, give us a like. Help us make that big YouTube money, man.
Yeah. Oh my God, we could be influencers.
Right?
Yes.
I think we already are, but
Oh, woo!
What's that guy's name? We could be Ninja or whatever his name is, or whatever that guy that whatever.
I don't
Ninja
know.
Warrior.
I don't know what you're
The
talking about.
YouTube guy that plays the video game. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. There's a lot of video
Millions
games.
of dollars on YouTube.
There's a lot of video game stuff on YouTube. Yeah. So tonight, guys, we're going to do something a little different. Normally, we come in, we talk about a genre or a movie or a franchise or something, and we give you all the information that you want to know about those things. But what happened, Jack? Oh, you didn't see most of the show. Yeah. Well, the show is you can find the live show on Indie. Independent Creator Comic Awards. It is still there. I was there for the first 3 awards, excepting Dave was part there for his too. So you can do that. So tonight again is something a little bit different. This is episode 10. We decided to do something a little bit different. We are doing our first Nerd Wars episode that will assuming we figure out how to do this properly and it goes off well. We'll probably bring back again. The idea tonight is we're going to take 2 movies. Both that came out in the same year. They are not necessarily the same genre. They are not necessarily the same anything of any kind, but they are big movies. They are important movies. They are pop culture movies. They are nerd movies. And we're going to talk about if you had to go to just one, if you could only pick the one, which one is it going to be? And Jim and David will tell you what they think, and then I'll tell you what the right answer is.
Sounds about right.
You'll
Yeah,
tell
that's
us a
right.
You'll tell us a different movie that wasn't the 2 that we picked.
No, because here's answer 3 is the right answer. Yeah.
In 1979, Alien came out, so therefore that is the clear winner.
What is all of them?
There's other stuff in 79 too. I mean, 79 is not a bad year for movies.
No.
No, it's not.
So yeah. But tonight we're going to go ahead and start right there and this will be an interesting one because I just found out today that David Fought has not seen Moonraker, right?
Nope.
And Mr. Noble has not seen The Black Hole.
Nope.
So we clearly know which side they're going to land on. And then when we're done, I'm going to tell you which one of them's right.
Well, I already know.
But clearly they skipped.
Yeah.
A good. Now I'll tell you this. When these came out, let's put this up real quick so people know what the hell we're talking about. When these movies came out in 1979, I didn't see The Black Hole in theaters. I did, however, see Moonraker in theaters. It was the first James Bond movie I ever saw in a theater. So I have a lot of nostalgia for Moonraker. But when I did finally see The Black Hole, I was like, fuck yeah, this is like a cool movie. So I'm kind of curious as to what you guys' opinions of the movie is. I actually just watched Moonraker today because I hadn't watched it in a long time, so I wanted to check it again. And it is one of the cooler ones. It's got Jaws in it, of course,
Jaws,
and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I'm gonna see if you guys know. You guys have heard the Mandela effect, right?
Yep.
Yeah. There's a Mandela effect element in this movie.
Really?
And you guys haven't heard of it. So that's cool. So we'll talk about that later on too.
So hang on for just 1 second. So this is the one with Jaws and everything that's in it? The villain?
Well, he's one of the bad. Drax is the bad guy.
Yeah.
Holy hell, I have seen it a long time ago.
Yeah. This is the outer space movie. The James Bond outer space movie.
Moonraker.
Okay.
Yes.
To go to the moon.
Yes.
I lied. I've seen it a long time ago. I don't remember it, but I've seen it.
Oh my God. All right, so let's talk about Moonraker, Jim.
Okay. Well, Moonraker, it is the probably like 8th or 9th James Bond film. and it is the
it's
fourth,
way deeper than that. It's like Roger Moore's seventh film.
It's Roger Moore's fourth time returning as James Bond.
Fourth time, okay.
The true James Bond, Roger Moore. Sir Roger Moore.
That's a different debate.
Yeah, that's yeah.
It's a good debate, but it's a different debate.
Yeah.
Not everyone has a photo of Sean Connery as James Bond signed by Roger Moore. Not me. I don't have that either. But yes, it does have Jaws, which is a very iconic. When people think of James Bond villains, he is definitely on that top list of villains.
Which is interesting because he's only in. Well, I mean, basically all the bad guys are in one movie, but he's in two.
He's in two.
Yeah,
he's in
Spy Who Loved
Me. Yeah, and in Moonraker.
Yeah,
and he doesn't come back ever.
No, he doesn't come back. He was, incidentally, fun fact, he was supposed to come back in For Your Eyes Only. But the producers were like, you know what? We're going to take this back to a little bit more rational storytelling than this dude with steel teeth. And he was basically written out. So he had one more shot, but they did not bring him back. They did not bring him back.
Yeah, isn't this the one where Drax tries to poison the Earth?
Correct. Basically, Drax is space Nazi, space Hitler. He's like, yeah, we're going to take the perfect people into space, and we're going to eliminate everyone else that's on the planet, and then we're the guys. We're what's going on. But it's this particular movie was like I said, I hadn't seen it in a long time. This is a comedy. This movie is a comedy. I mean, it's action and all that stuff too, but it's a freaking comedy. I mean, with his hydrofoil, what do you call those things that go down the canals in Italy? Oh my God.
Hydro boats or whatever, the boats.
River.
The gondolas.
Okay,
He's got this gondola that like is things floating around. He's got this boat that's got a
arch,
hang glider that comes out of it.
Oh.
You got Jaws, of course, who's just running around biting people's faces, and but it is totally played for comedy. I mean, there's a lot of comedy in James Bond anyway, especially in the Roger Moore stuff. Roger Moore stuff kind of really played into it, heavy duty.
not to be confused with Dudley Moore, different people, not the same guy.
No.
Also another funny guy.
Very different. Very different.
But they have the same last name.
So the question though here is, so you know what the movie is, you've seen it. Did you even like it? Was it like, were you like, are you a James Bond person at all?
When I was a kid, I liked James Bond. When they got the new guy, what's his name, Daniel Craig, they got him. I was I was pretty much done with Bond at that point because there were so many Bonds that I had seen before that, and then when that guy came around, I was done when what's his name, was it Pierce? Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
That when he was surfing the wave, that's when I was like, "Yep, I've seen enough of this." that pretty much that takes care of things.
Fake ass scene.
It's so fake. It's so bad.
Yeah, the Brosnan era was not great. But yeah, for me, more was awesome. But I think a lot of that was I think the Bond is a lot like Godzilla and other things where your favorite is kind of wherever you started. For me, I started for the most part with Roger Moore and with this movie even. And so when I went backwards into the Sean Connery stuff, it was like, yeah, it's fine, but like, why doesn't he have any weird gadgets or anything? Like, I don't understand. It was not what I was expecting, and it was kind of strange. So I like the Connery stuff, but it's definitely a completely different era. I mean, you got with Roger Moore, he's running across alligator heads and just doing all kinds of crazy crap.
Yeah. For me, like my introduction was Pierce. I got the Pierce James Bond.
Mine too. Exactly.
Because what was before him, it was Timothy Dalton.
Timothy Dalton only got to do 2 movies.
Yeah.
And then Roger Moore, Sean Connery. Well, Roger Moore Sean Connery did one in the 80s, but Roger Moore also did one like the year after he did one.
No, they did them the same year.
They did. Was it the same year?
It was
No.
The Spy Who Loved Me and Never Say Never Again were the same year. Yeah.
And then George Lazenby.
One movie.
One movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like a Jim up there. I started with Pierce Brosnan. Like I was always kind of I saw a couple of Sean Connery ones, but I started pretty much with Pierce Brosnan when I got heavy. I like Goldeneye a lot. Then after that, they kind of
Yeah, Goldeneye was really good.
Goldeneye was a good reboot, and then it just kind of went nowhere.
Tomorrow Never Dies. The world is not enough. Die another day.
Incidentally, that's the only movie I've ever walked out of. Was the second Pierce Brosnan movie, or it was the one with the stealth boat and oh my god, who's the chick from Starship Troopers?
Oh, Denise Richards.
The one with Denise Richards. She was like supposed to be this radiation laboratory scientist chick, and I was like, no. And we got about halfway through, and I was like, I'm out of here. This is it.
Was that Pierce Brosnan she was in with?
Yes.
Okay.
It was the second or third. I don't remember which one it was. Tomorrow Never Dies. There you go. Whatever the second or third one was, we just were like, we're out of here. This is dumb.
The whole Christmas joke.
Yeah, it's bad.
It was The World Is Not Enough. That's the one.
The World Was Not Enough. Yes,
that's the third one. Yeah. See, the only movie I ever walked out of was Bruno. That was it. That's the only other movie, and it wasn't my choice. It wasn't my choice to walk out of that movie.
Man,
I was on a date, and my date was like, "This movie's offensive. We got to go." And I was like, "Oh."
Offensive. Oh,
I didn't think we were even going to watch the movie
to
begin with.
Did you make it to the little person scene?
We got to the Harrison Ford interview, and he goes, "Yeah, fuck off." And then I was like, because like that was my whole thing. I was like, well, I want to see what they do with Harrison Ford, and then it was just fuck off. I was like, all right, I guess we can go now.
Man.
So I've never seen the rest of that movie.
Am I?
You're not really missing anything.
You're not, but it's just yeah.
It's the gay Borat. I get it.
Brutal.
But
so David, what is your recollection? What was your black hole?
I have seen
experience. Did you see it in the theater, or was it a video later?
I saw the trailer at the drive-in.
I remember trailers back in the day. I remember the big asteroid coming through and them like running across, and I was like, I got to see this movie, and somehow I never did.
That's the same with me. Like I saw it at the saw the trailer at the drive-in. I was like, oh shit, I got to see this, and never did. And finally, I lived over in a little town called Ash Grove, and they had movie night. They had like Walt Disney, the whole movie nights and everything and all. And they finally had it on there, and I watched it on there. And I'm like, what the hell is this movie? I'm like, because, okay, it's a movie. Like, I'm going to be honest, but it's a slow movie. I mean, I like it. I would like to own it. I think it's one of the harder movies to own. I know it's on Disney Plus right now, but I think it's one of the... Did Disney even bring it back out? I don't think they did they, Tom? Or do you know?
Back out? What do you mean?
Like on Blu-ray or DVD or anything or nothing like that?
Yeah, they actually did the dickheads. They did like a Disney special, Disney Club version of Blu-ray. And I'm like, F you guys. I'm not spending like $75 for a Blu-ray of this thing.
No.
Give me a break. So I don't know if it exists in any other I mean, I know there's a DVD because I have the DVD, but I don't know if there's an actual Blu-ray to just get at this point.
It was just, I know it's one of those nostalgia movies for me. I did go back and watch it recently, and I was kind of, it's just basically, and it's basically Disney wanted to do Star Wars, I think, and they wanted to.
I'm looking at.
Well, that's why the robots look like stormtroopers.
Yeah, that's why the robots.
And then you've got Bob and Vincent, who clearly are basically R2D2,
and
except they fly.
This was Disney before they actually bought Star Wars and ruined it. Oh, sorry. It's just, it was a nostalgia movie for me. Will I ever watch it again? Hell yeah, one day I'll pick it up and watch it again.
It is a slow movie, and this is where I think we have the between the two of these, like to pick one. And they're really interesting because I think as a kid, the younger you see the black hole, the less you're going to like it. Because there's too much that's just going right over your head, and there's not enough lasers, and there's not enough anything else. Moonraker, you still might not know what the hell's going on, but at least shit is like flying everywhere. Every scene there is something going on.
Yeah.
But the older you get and you watch Moonraker, or you watch the black hole, the more you start to like realize all of the levels of the storytelling in it, and in particular the ending. Spoiler alert: they all fucking die, guys.
Yeah. Gone.
And they literally go to hell and go to heaven. I mean, that's the visual. They go to hell. Dr. Durand is in hell inside Maximilian, and then the others go through the pearly gates and come out the other side. Now they don't come out like into a cloud and they're actually in heaven. There's a planet on that side, but the thought process is basically this is like Lost before Lost came around, right? Because they all die.
Yeah,
it was Disney's
God,
version
what a waste
of
of 6 years of my life.
Came out.
I'm looking at the cast of Black Hole, and now it's like I kind of want to see this movie because it's got Robert Forster in it, Roddy McDowall, Slim Pickens, Ernest Borgnine's in it.
Yep.
I mean, I like all those guys. Why haven't I seen this movie?
Yeah.
It has Slim Pickens in it, dude. Come on.
And what's interesting is if you compare the two, see, I did my job. I'm actually comparing these movies. If you compare the two, Drax and Durant. No, it's not Durant. What the hell's the guy? That's that's not the bad guy's name.
Oh, I don't know what the bad guy's name. I'm just looking at the cast.
I can't think of the bad guy's name now.
Dan Holland.
But Drax and the bad guy in each of these movies are basically the same dude. Like if you watch them, they're both just kind of wandering around with their beards.
Nice.
They're super like just like stoic and I'm going to rule the world and do my thing. They're like totally identical characters, which is kind of great. Now, of course, Drax is Space Hitler, and the other guy is just sort of Looney Tunes, trying to go through the black hole.
So he's like the guy in Raiders of the Lost Ark who's trying to get the Ark of the Covenant. He's like that guy.
Oh,
yes.
Why, yes.
Yes, exactly right. So Shawnee says the black hole freaked her out. Definitely, for sure, it freaks you out because you have no idea what the hell is going on. Like if you were a Star Wars fan and you're thinking this is like a Star Wars movie, no,
nope.
It's barely made for kids. I mean, like barely made for kids. I mean, they made toys out of it, but
they made some cool toys. Like I wanted those toys so damn bad.
I did too, and they actually have made more recent versions of those toys, like really limited edition things, and they're really good. They're really, really good. Yeah. Sorry, Michael. It's only a 48-year-old movie. We're doing spoilers tonight. Sorry about that.
Sorry. I was looking at cast.
The cast is great. It's just it's a 1979 movie. It is a 1979 movie, and that's where you kind of fall apart. It's one of these. I think that the black hole, honestly, like if Disney were to be like, let's remake this, you could probably do it, and it would probably be.
Wait a minute. Hold the phone. Anthony Perkins was in that?
Yeah.
The hell? Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that. I need to rewatch it here soon. I thought he was only Psycho. I've only seen him in Psycho. Holy damn.
No, he's a legitimate actor, dude. He's like in a lot of things.
He's been in a lot of movies.
He's not just Norman Bates. He's also other people too.
If you want to see it, just go to Disney Plus. They have it now.
That's right. Is it
on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Oh, I might watch that tonight. Cool.
I might watch it tomorrow when I get on.
It's a good movie. I think so. For this, let's try and figure out what's the best, and I think it's a hard one because they're very different movies.
Yeah.
But I think just from a lot of the times when I pick a movie like I like this one versus this one is the rewatchability factor.
Yeah.
And I think that the black hole is harder to watch because it's slower. You got to be in the mood to kind of like sit down and watch some acting and that kind of thing. But the effects were really good. I mean, for back in the day, I mean, it's all model work and stuff. So it's all good. It's all good work. There's really only a couple of really wonky effect shots. Bond is all camp and just is just a go. So I think ultimately, I think that for me, I think the Black Hole is probably a better film. But I think if you had to pick something to just go and have a good time with, I think it's Moonraker.
Yeah, I do have to agree with that.
Moonraker.
Raking the moon.
Who sang the Moonraker theme?
Isaac Hayes.
Oh my god!
I don't know.
I'm going to
Who sang
say
it?
Dean Martin.
No.
I know it's not.
Frank
Dean
Sinatra.
Martin. Dean Martin.
Frank Sinatra.
Sammy Davis Jr.
No, none of those people have done Bond. It's Shirley Bassey. Shirley Bassey did the Moonraker.
Yeah, we're just a little off.
None of those people. You're all like, who are these people? They've never done any James Bond.
Adele done one.
So incidentally, and we'll move on to the next one here. But just for the record, so I think we're all kind of picking Moonraker as the one to watch, which is fine. Incidentally, Rotten Tomatoes has the audience score for both of these basically the same.
No.
Moonraker's 43%, and the Black Hole is 45%. So they're basically identical. But we went the other way. We went with Moonraker at 43% versus the 45%.
Yeah, we're thinking like Hollywood rewatchability, like you said, like that whole factor.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
like Moonraker was probably bigger. Hey Jim, look this up. How much did Black Hole make in the drive-in or theater?
Oh, Black Hole made
nothing.
30 million.
Did it?
Yeah, I was just looking at that. It was a $20 million budget, $30 million.
So it actually made money.
It made money.
It made money, but it didn't. It wasn't a blockbuster.
No, okay.
I'm sorry. It was a $2 million budget and it made $30 million.
Oh shit!
Oh, what?
Wait,
no.
Hold on. I'm fucking
$2 million.
No, $20 million. Yeah,
it.
I was right before. $20 million, 35.
God.
Listen, if you're making Black Hole on $2 million,
and it makes 30, there's definitely
that's okay. Yeah, that's a sequel time.
Yeah, that's a sequel. Disney would have been for a sequel on that one.
And Moonraker was on a budget of 34 million, and they made 210.
That's what I figured.
Because I mean, you got the the thing with
Moonraker has the franchise behind it.
They got the whole fan base right there. Those are the fans coming back, new fans coming in. The 11th James Bond film. Wow.
God, was that the 11th?
11. This one goes to 11.
11.
Well, that means that Connery did 7, right? And then he did his 8th on that Never Say Never Again one in the 80s.
Yeah.
Which, and we're going to do a James Bond show too, but the Never Say Never Again was interesting because basically when he did Thunderball, he wasn't really happy with Thunderball. No. And so he had it in his contract that when he left James Bond, he would have the rights to come back and do Bond again, essentially, whenever he wanted to. And so he remade Thunderball the way that he wanted to, and it was Never Say Never Again.
My favorite's Octopussy.
Of course it would be. No.
Ridiculous. Okay, this one I think is going to be interesting. Especially since we did, because this was one of the ones I posted in the thread, and we had a really, really interesting mix of people talking about this.
Why did you do this?
Yeah, I want to now before you throw this up, I just want to say this one was probably the easiest versus because the next ones are all going to be really hard to pick.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I assume this is what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you know what's crazy about doing this show is finding out that these movies came out in the same year. Like I would have never remembered in my head that Raiders of the Lost Ark was 81 and Cannonball Run was 81. This is like a weird history lesson at the same time. I remember seeing both of these in the theaters multiple times. This was summer movie like perfection
Yeah.
back in the days of the early and mid 80s was unbelievable times. And I'm assuming both of you guys have seen both of these movies.
Oh,
Yep.
thousands of times.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
good. All right,
100%.
all right, all right. So the thread. Oh, we're missing comments. So what kind of comments do we have here?
Oh, we got like 15 comments. Jesus.
Yeah. It's
sorry.
they're all jumping in here. So I'm curious to see where you guys land. I it took me a while to kind of figure out where I wanted to land on this. Because I love both of these movies like a lot for a number of different reasons. But Jim, we'll let you go where you're going first.
Please go first.
Oh, okay. I'll go. Okay. Well, for me, I mean, you know, there's pros and cons for both. I mean, one, hilarious, funny, fantastic film. The other, action-packed, hilarious, funny, fantastic. They're both really great. Now, Cannonball Run has an amazing cast. I mean,
yeah,
literally,
like a cast of the gods, literally.
Everybody you would want in that movie, in that, what was it, 81 or
81.
80?
81.
Yeah, 81. Anyone that you would want in a movie in 1981, it's that movie. And then, on the other hand, though, you have literally Raiders of the Lost Ark, which, granted, if you were to name actors and actresses from Raiders of the Lost Ark, usually everyone's always going to say Harrison Ford. But, like, as far as casting goes, Cannonball Run is the winner.
Yeah.
But for me, personally, I like Raiders of the Lost Ark because I was growing up as a kid. I saw that when I was young, so like I have a more attachment to that because like that's a movie that me and my dad will watch.
Sure.
And so like I really like. There's like literally scenes and lines burnt into my brain from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Sure.
Cannonball Run, however, not so much. I didn't see Cannonball Run until I was a lot older.
Yeah, and see, a lot of this is, and this is what's kind of interesting because Jim is younger than me and Dave, and we all experience these movies in different ways, different times, literally.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times when you see a movie, it's like Jaws. If you show like a 10-year-old Jaws today, they're gonna be like, "Where's the fucking shark, Dad?" You know, like they're gonna be bored. You know what I mean? So a lot of this is very, very like, when did you experience it? So yeah, so no, I totally get it. 100%. I get it. I remember I didn't see Raiders of the Lost Ark with my dad, but I remember him taking me to downtown Los Angeles, basically Chinatown, when I was how old would I have been? 1981, I would have been 10-ish. And basically kicking me out of the car and being like, "So go watch Raiders of the Lost Ark in Chinatown, and I'm going to pick you back up in 2 hours." And I was by myself when I was 10 in Chinatown. That was my experience. Watching Raiders of the Lost Ark with like Korean or Chinese like subtitles. And I was like, what is all this crap on the screen, man? Like that was my first subtitles experience.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah. So yeah, I had an interesting Raiders experience. And I saw it like 30 other times over the summer in different theaters too. So
so good.
But yeah, no, it was great. It was great. So Dave, are you on the same page there, or which way do you go?
I have stories for both real quick.
Okay, go.
A lot of people didn't know this. Raiders of the Lost Ark was actually my first movie at the drive-in I've seen from start to beginning. We actually went to the drive-in, and it was Airplane and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh wow!
I will never forget this, like forever. Like when the boob scene come on Airplanes, like when the boobs came across, my dad's like, mom's like, hide his eyes. He's 5 years old, and
Shut like, your eyes. Don't open your eyes.
He's gonna see him later anyway. And but yeah, after that, like the Raiders of the Lost Ark come on, we're like, oh, this looks cool. Let's sit and watch it. And so that one holds a lot of nostalgia to me.
Sure.
Because it was the first movie I seen Airplane pretty much, but I sat and my eyes was glued to the screen with Raiders of the Lost Ark. You couldn't move me. I was a 5-year-old kid and I was glued to watching that screen. Now Cannonball I didn't see too much later. We had these really good friends, like, and this is gonna like kind of freak Tom out a little bit. We'd go and watch movies with them. We would have like pizza night and we'd have movies on, but we'd watch like Footloose, Dirty Dancing, Crocodile Dundee 1 and 2 we watched over there. Porky's. and I was this young, and they'd be like, Splash, bachelor party.
Oh, the
So-
bachelor party.
Bachelor party. So yeah, we're sitting there one day, and they go, "We have this one movie we go watch. It's called Cannonball Run," and it was another one. Like when it came on, my eyes was hooked. You know, was it Adrian Barbeau and
Yes, Adrian Barbeau
and was
Farrah
it
Fawcett.
the second
Farrah
person
Fawcett.
too? Yeah. You know, the cast was unbelievable. I knew who everybody was. The cast was, you know, I was a huge Burt Reynolds fan back then and everything. I loved, you know, Smoking the Bandit, and you know, I even watched Deliverance back then, which I shouldn't have.
Roger Moore.
Yeah.
Another Roger Moore film.
Yeah, another Roger Moore film. Oh god, it's gonna just barely, dude. It's got to be Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Ooh.
I mean, barely edge it. Like my heart's being ripped out right now because I love Cannonball Run just as much. That is one. If 1 and 2's on, I watch them. I stop everything and I watch them. Especially 2. I like 1, but I like 2 better because Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan's in the first one.
He's in the first one.
No, he's second one.
He's in both.
Yeah.
Is he in the first one?
Yeah, and Richard Keel's in the second one too.
Yeah.
Jackie Chan's the first one too? Shit,
Yes.
it's been that long. So I need to get it and watch it. I haven't seen the first one. I always watch the second one.
Dean Martin, Sammy Davis
Yeah,
Jr.
Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr.
Oh, Peter Fonda.
Yeah, Jamie Farr. So the cast in it, like, it almost edges out. Oh God, I just don't even want it.
A great
I'm
cast.
gonna be that asshole. I'm gonna say both. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to. I love Raiders of the Lost Ark.
The
I
versus
love
has
Cannonball
just
Run,
become.
so it's gonna have
I
to be
choose
both. I'm
both.
sorry. So I'm going to be that jerk. This is the only one I'm going to pull it on because they bring so much childhood memories to me. So
Dr.
there-
Jones.
They're both great. I mean, they're both legitimately great, and
Master of
they're
the occult.
completely opposite
Oh,
films.
hell
I mean,
yeah.
obviously, so it's really hard to like pick and choose and compare. Raiders for me was really great because I liked history, but I liked the weird history. Like I didn't give a damn about like American history in, you know,
yeah.
1902. Like I don't give a shit. But talk to me about the Egyptians and the you know, all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Like so immediately I was like totally drawn into Raiders of the Lost Ark. I was like, this is some batshit crazy stuff. Only to find out later that it was all bullshit. I thought it was
Yeah.
all based in real things. Now the Ark is based in the, you know, the Bible.
Right. Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
the staff of Ra, Tanis, all that, literally everything else is horseshit made up.
Yeah, the
And I
Nazis,
had
they weren't real.
I had no idea that was the case for like decades later, dude. Decades later, when I finally actually started doing some research on it, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me! He just made all this up? What an
Top
asshole!
man. Top man.
Goddamn
See,
Steven Spielberg!"
Damn you, Lucas and Spielberg.
I rewatched that a couple times in the past year because COVID, you know, I've been really bored. So I was like, I'll watch Indiana Jones.
Hell yeah.
And one thing I noticed in that movie, and I don't think I ever caught it before, was in that movie they mentioned that when Indiana Jones is being introduced, they're like, this is Dr. Jones. He's expert of the occult and archaeologist, blah blah blah. But you know, expert of the occult. And the reason why that's an interesting scene is because they mention the occult, but then like it's never really mentioned again. But then you go and watch Temple of Doom, and you're
Yep.
like, oh, I get it now.
Which
'Cause
is a
Temple of
prequel.
Doom
Which is a prequel. Yeah.
So it
I
makes a
did
whole
not
lot
know
of
that.
sense. Yeah.
I never caught on to that until you said that.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a lot like the Hot Tub Time Machine. Lou mentioning being shot in the dick. It's like foreshadowing the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Hot Tub Time Machine is becoming our new Final Friday. Jason
Oh
goes,
man,
"No."
I can't wait to have John Cusack on.
Oh yeah, there you go.
John Cusack, I know you're watching. You are invited anytime to come on the show. Yeah, so Raiders is good. I have good Raiders stories. Cannonball Run was so outside of my like there's I don't know why I liked it. Like because I was not a car guy as a kid. You know what I mean? Like it just it wasn't anything. But the Lamborghini was such like a what is that? I want to know everything about that. And then the doors open up sideways, and I'm
Yep.
like, what's going on? And then these hot girls get out, and it's like, that's it. That's it. This movie is I'm all about this movie.
It's the first time I've seen a Lamborghini, actually.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
And it has front and back spoilers. What? Never seen anything with a front spoiler before. So, yeah. And then it was, of course, it was adult comedy. They're cracking, bad word jokes and boob jokes and
like that,
all that kind of stuff. So I'm there at like what we said 80. So I'm like 10 years old watching, Farrah Fawcett's tits stick out of her her shirt and stuff. The Lamborghini girls are in their Lycra costumes and so on. So I'm like, yeah, this is an okay movie.
It's the movie that got me to do what I'm doing today.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It has a great freaking theme. Like for the longest time, I have been desperate to get a hold of the soundtrack for this thing on CD because I can find it every now and then, like on a LP, but that doesn't help me at all in technological world. So, friend of mine, fellow comic book creator, Peter Robinson, actually found the soundtrack on CD and sent it to me the other day. So, gigantic thanks to Peter for that. And basically, I was the instant he says, I'm sending you something. And I'm like, okay. So he opened the box and there's a box of Fruity Pebbles in there. I'm like, why are you sending me Fruity Pebbles? Like, I thought maybe there was like a Godzilla toy in it or something. And then I saw taped to the Fruity Pebbles box, a full box, like a legitimate, there's cereal in there, is a package taped to it. And I was like, that's weird. So I open it up and I pull it out and it's like I just found the Staff of Ra, right? I'm just like, holy God, what have you done? Immediately it was in my computer and I'm like playing it and I got the headphones on and I'm like, ding, 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 ding. I was like, yeah, this is going to play 100 times in my head today.
Man.
For me, they both have, I'll let you guys choose. So Dave is cheating.
No, don't ask me. No.
Dave is cheating.
Jim.
And Jim says Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't really know that there's a wrong answer in this case because they're such different movies. But if I put a gun to my head and tell me which one, I have to pick one, I think it's gonna be the Cannonball Run.
Wow.
Basically, I can put that in right now. I can put the soundtrack on right now, and it has the ability to take me somewhere that I'm paying attention to, like, completely, because the characters are so ridiculous. The dialogue is sharp, the music is sharp. Whereas I think when I watch Raiders of the Lost Ark now, I drift, and then when I get to the scenes that I want to see, I'm like, okay, I'm watching now, but I drift on other parts.
See that?
So not say that it's bad. I mean, it's just the movies are so different that they do different things for you. So for me, it's Cannonball Run. But it's super, super, super close.
Yeah,
for sure. And Cannonball Run 2 is okay. It's not great. However, you guys were all talking about Frank Sinatra and Dean and all that. They're all in Cannonball Run movies. They're just not in James Bond movies.
No.
And I will say this: my biggest flaw with the Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I know we mentioned this on the show before as well.
Oh God, here we go.
Is the submarine scene, the scene where he's sailing on the submarine to the Nazi base?
Well, yeah, that's actually taken care of in the comic book.
Yeah, you're right. It is. But if you're a casual movie viewer, you may not know that.
That's correct. But there's a much bigger problem with Raiders of the Lost Ark than the submarine.
What's that?
And it's the fact that Indiana Jones has no bearing on the outcome of this film.
He don't have to be
without Indiana Jones. The Nazis get the Ark, they open it, they die. Indy has no bearing on the movie.
Yeah, but because he was there, he was able to get the Ark and give it to top men.
Yes.
Because
but that wasn't his goal. His goal was to get it in the museum. So he couldn't even get his goal done. They took it from him. He brought it back, but they took it from him.
You know, now that I really think about it, he's not really good at getting things to a museum because,
little things, tiny things, yes.
Yeah,
Temple of Doom.
He got the cross.
The cross of Corleone. He got that. Coronado. Yeah.
Not Corleone.
That too.
Yeah.
Coronado.
the Corona cross.
Corleone.
They couldn't refuse.
It's not an Italian cross.
My cross is dead. Blue on blue.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that, between all those movies, that's the one item he got into a museum that you actually see on film.
Yeah, outside of a bunch of little tiny, I got good pieces. These are good pieces, but they're not. They're just junk. Oh, they're good, Indy. Okay, so
he finds the Holy Grail, but he can't take it out of the room.
Right. He's the worst archaeologist of all time.
Hey, we could have had Shia LaBeouf come up later on and take it over, but
I got these three sacred stones, but I have to give it to this village so they can eat. But
yeah,
okay.
So we'll move on to what's next. For the record, the Rotten Tomatoes audience score, it's more parted in this one. Raiders of the Lost Ark has a 96%. No surprise.
Yeah.
Cannonball Run is actually, to me, surprisingly low. It's at 61%.
Oh, no. Bye-bye.
That feels really low to me.
Yeah, no.
And I feel like that's just a bunch of millennials making stupid Rotten Tomatoes things because they're seeing it when they're 15 in millennial time when we were seeing it when we were 15 in the 80s.
Well, I didn't see it in the 80s.
Let's
because there's a lot of the Cannonball Run is filled with a lot of, it's not really racial humor or anything. It's just
colorful jokes.
It's just colorful. It's very colorful throughout. Yeah. And there is a little bit of some racial stuff with Sammy Davis Jr. But back in the day, they all cracked that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that was.
But it's very minor. It's very, very small.
Yeah.
He calls him the chocolate monk, in one scene.
I'm looking at the comments, and so Thomas mentioned the Young Indiana Jones television series.
Right.
Did you guys ever see that?
I saw some of it. I didn't see all of it.
There's quite a. I've seen a few episodes. There was one where he's because he's a World War I veteran. Because we forget Indiana Jones takes place in the 1930s, so clearly he's going to be a World War I vet.
Yeah.
But there's one where he's going through the trenches. That's the one episode I vaguely remember from that entire series.
I remember that one. I didn't watch it. It wasn't bad.
The only thing that I've seen, I think I saw the first 4 episodes or something, and I was it was okay, but I wasn't really driving to go back. What I did hear though is that Harrison makes an appearance in the final episode.
Yeah.
Is that true?
As himself?
Yeah.
Yep.
As Indy.
Well, not as Indy. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That should be
true. Yeah, it's true. I remember it.
Oh.
Basically when you get to the finale, it turns out that he's been narrating it or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
And he's like, yep, and I'm Indiana Jones, and there you go.
And that's when I found the Holy Grail with my father.
And I had to.
Yeah, there's a picture of him sitting in a chair, in a rocking chair.
There you go.
Yep. There you go.
The Harrison Ford appeared as a middle-aged Indiana Jones. You know what's really funny is the picture of him, as the middle-aged Indiana Jones, kind of looks like he is now.
He's aged. He's not one of these guys that hasn't aged, but he's aged really well.
As an old guy, he's
for an older guy.
I mean, he was in he looked pretty good in Star Wars. And they were making him look old with the gray hair and all that kind of stuff. So he still looked pretty good in Star Wars. So yeah. All right. So we have a split decision on Cannonball Run and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah,
because David is a coward.
Sorry.
It's a coward.
Sorry, I failed you all, but that one I can do.
You are holding on to the everlasting gobstopper, and you do not get the chocolate factory. Good day.
Yeah, we should have done a Willy Wonka one.
And now we're going to break the internet. Because 1982 was two gigantic nerd movies. I'm really curious to see what happens here as well.
Get ready, go on.
1982 is Conan, and it's Khan.
This one. Okay.
This is going to be interesting, I think. I'll tell you a quick Star Trek 2 story. I did not see Conan in the theater. I saw it on HBO later. I did see Star Trek 2 in the theater. I had no clue who Khan was. All of my friends knew who Khan was. I had no idea. They were all excited, like, dude, Khan's in this movie. And I'm like, yeah, I know. His name's in the title. Like, so what? What does that mean?
Khan. It's the name of the movie.
So what?
The Empire Strikes Back. Clearly, the Empire shows up.
And so, well, I liked it. I was like, yeah, this is a good movie. I had no idea why they were all pissing their pants about, Khan coming back. It was like, I just don't understand. It took decades for people to tell me, oh, you have to watch Space Seed. And I'm like, what is Space Seed? It's Star Trek, dude. Oh, okay. So, yeah, it took me decades before I realized that Khan was a previous thing. But I mean, I did like it regardless. But so there's my initial dive in here. Jim, why don't you go? What are you going to defend?
Oh man, I love. I was forced into Star Trek because of my father, so I unfortunately know there's a lot of Star Trek shit that I know that I don't want to know. But Wrath of Khan is one of those Star Trek things that's like I love it, man. I love everything about it. It's great. It's fantastic. And actually, because they did reboot Wrath of Khan in a way with that the one of Benedict Cumberbatch.
Kind of,
sort of, right?
Yes.
So when you watch Wrath of Khan and then you watch that, you can see a lot of similarities.
Oh, totally.
But the whole Wrath of Khan, where he's when Kirk and Spock they're doing the thing and it's like, oh my god, he's dying, and it's the reactor. It's so fucking awesome. And then this is one thing, because I have told this to my family, I've told this to my father. I said, literally, that eulogy that Kirk gives to Spock, that is the same eulogy that I'm going to give to my father when he dies. It's the same eulogy. I'm going to word for word, and then we're going to shoot him out in the face. And
oh my god!
Scotty's playing the bagpipes.
Thomas, you and I are going to have a show together, and I'm going to prove to you why Darkness is not a trash film.
No.
Is that the one? That's the
Into Darkness? Yeah.
Darkness.
Okay.
Into Darkness. Take Into Darkness. Well, very quickly, because we're talking Khan, but very quickly. Take Star Trek Into Darkness. Put it in a vacuum. There is no other Star Trek. Okay, just put it in the vacuum. Or there's the first Star Trek, which is fine. I mean, it doesn't matter because it's a reboot of the universe anyway. It works in and of itself. But the problem that it has is that Khan has no value because there's no space seed. Khan is just a guy who shows up and he's strong and he's got his buddies that are, frozen and whatever. So you get kind of the same movie with less of an impact from a character standpoint. But you do get an actual functional, rational, working film that from an action sci-fi standpoint is fine. Star Trek Into Darkness is a good movie. It is not a good. It is not a good reboot of Wrath of Khan because they totally fucked it up because there's no character basis for it. Even when Spock goes and talks to Spock, it's like that's not enough to make Khan valuable as a villain, but he's still a strong villain through the motivations he was given in the film. I'm out. Let's go back to Star Trek 2. again, I like the movie without knowing Space Seed, and I think that's a testament to the film. Is that
you don't have to see the show?
No,
correct? It gives you enough information that if you hadn't seen Space Seed, you still are invested in what's going on, and that is a true testament to Wrath of Khan, because I was fucking clueless. Upgrades on all the uniforms, the special effects were good. I mean, Ricardo Montalban is fantastic. I mean, of course.
Yeah.
100%.
I also dug on seeing different spaceship styles, like the Reliant style ship was so different from the Enterprise, and then from there they started doing that all the time. In the next movie, you got the Bird of Prey, and they just started expanding. And then when you got into Star Trek Next Generation, it was all kinds of fucking weird cool designs. So Star Trek 2 really kind of started pushing the envelope on ships too, which I thought was cool. And the Genesis device was a pretty fucked up thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Seeing Spawn, or not Spawn, fucking Spock die of radiation too. It's like, yeah, this is why on a submarine you don't go inside where the nuclear reactor is. Although in real life you would die like as soon as the door opens, you'd be dead. But I guess because Spock's a Vulcan.
He's a Vulcan. Yeah.
It makes more sense. He's got better blood than humans. Got better genes. Now going back to Conan, though, Conan's really good. Now that's the one of James Earl Jones, right?
Well, we're gonna let David talk about Conan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
assuming that's where you want to go with this.
No, it totally is. When I was a kid, I wasn't too big of a Star Trek fan. Like when I got older,
I was very vague too. It was on. I watched it, but I wasn't in it.
Yeah. When I got older, I appreciated it more because I understood it more. Like, I guess I was a dumbass kid and really didn't latch on to anything or anything like that. But when I got older, I appreciated it. But Conan, if you threw something in front of me with sword and sorcery and crap like that, I grew up with He-Man. I even watched She-Ra. The old Roger Corman movies, the Sword and the Sorceress and stuff like that, and everything. I watched those. So if you do something with a sword and barbarians and orgs and shit and all like that, I watched it. Conan, I've watched 1,000 times. It's one of my favorite movies. It got me to watching Arnold movies. It just
it got the world into watching Arnold movies.
Yeah,
I mean, before that, he was Hercules in New York. I mean,
yeah. And I'm gonna have to go with Conan with this one. Don't get me wrong, I love Star Trek 2 Wrath of Khan, but Conan, I grew up reading the comics. After I saw the movie, I discovered the comics, started reading the comics. It's kind of like the Superman movies for me, because Richard Donner's Superman got me into comics.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was perfect casting.
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, not to say that the entire cast is like a great cast, because the other two were just they didn't really do anything. They just ran around and, drank beer and stabbed people. But for casting Conan, like, holy crap. That's a moment in time that was synergy.
And that iconic sword and just all that.
Well, and it's all practical effects. Everything is practical effects. Even the snakes and shit are all practical effects.
And I just remember that etched in my head and as a kid. And that one is Conan for me. Oh hell yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I've been trying to chase down. There's like a 4-disc set, like a complete 4-disc set of that thing. And I've been trying to track that thing down for a long time. You can find like the basic one with like 10 tracks on it. That one's fairly easy, but there's like a super box set that came out, and I'm just like, no, I'm waiting for the whole thing.
Yeah,
it will happen eventually.
Yeah, hell yeah. So
and it's got that memorable scene where they're like, "What is best in life?" And then he goes through that whole spiel, and you're like, "Oh my god, he's not fucking around, man.
No.
He's killing you, and then he's fucking your women."
Yep, he kills and then screws the women, which again got me into doing what I'm doing today.
And then like he's pushing the wheel of death. He's basically from a child to adulthood, just pushing that wheel for however many years. That's pretty neat.
Now,
It's good montage.
should
Yeah.
we talk about the Jason Momoa one?
No.
I agree.
No.
It's gone.
That doesn't exist. That
No.
doesn't exist in the verses.
Nope.
Jason
So-
Momoa does not exist in this dojo. Does it?
The dojo. Is it bad? Just like really quick. I like Jason Momoa as a person, but acting
No.
in movies, I just
Yeah, listen, Jason Momoa, from what I see, is a perfectly cool guy.
he's a cool guy.
But
Well-
from an acting standpoint, Drogo was nothing.
No.
Aquaman is just basically what Momoa is. He just walks on set and is like, let's go.
Let's do Aquaman.
So I haven't seen acting chops from him really yet.
I want
Not to say he doesn't necessarily have them, but I haven't seen
he's
it.
got it. He's got it. But I want to see it.
Well, are you talking about his stint on Baywatch?
Yes.
That's when he was acting
the
really
hairless Momoa on Baywatch.
hardcore
He was in
Baywatch fan.
One of them Stargate movies.
Yeah,
Was
he's
he?
on
No,
Stargate,
TV shows. He was Stargate Atlantis. Go
Yep,
figure.
Atlantis.
Was he really?
The guy who plays
Yep.
Aquaman is on the Atlantis show.
Yes.
Oh, that's a weird series.
That was
Yeah.
a very odd series.
Yeah, Conan was great. I didn't see it in the theater. This was so
No.
for me it was one of these. There's a whole bunch of movies that I saw on HBO because a friend of mine got HBO when it first kind of started happening. So it was like Conan, it was like Poltergeist. This is like all the like crazy stuff that I wasn't seeing in the theater. Like we would just stay up all night and just watch HBO, and so that's where all that stuff came in. So I have a lot of nostalgia kid stuff, like remembering watching all this stuff when I'm really not supposed to watch it. Same with like Krull. Krull was another one that I never saw in the theaters, but it was on HBO all the time. And
all the time.
Yeah. So here's the thing for me. I'm okay with the sword and sorcery stuff. Like I like Conan, I like Krull, I liked Thundar the Barbarian, things like that. But I wasn't really deep in it. So the fact that I liked this one as much as I do, I think is a testament to what it is and what it brought. Even though it was really simple, it's the simplest story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a simple story that's told in a powerful way, and there's really no, like with Raiders of the Lost Ark, I said, there's times where I'll just kind of like drift off, like, okay, I'll be on my phone right now. With Conan, I don't know that there's really too many drift off spots.
No.
So I like it. I like it. I'm pretty happy with it all the way through.
Now, see, I was kind of like you. Mine, like when I growing up, I grew up in a small town. I grew up in a town of 500 people. No joke. It was a small town. So we never had HBO. We never had internet. But when we first got our VCR, that's when we started watching shit. Like I had a friend of mine that owned a video.
Oh yeah,
store in the next
for sure.
town.
Yeah, once the VHS
Yeah.
stores came out, then it was open season.
And
Holy crap!
I would go in the video store and he'd be like, "Here, I've got these held for you. Go home and watch these." And it'd be like Conan, The Thing, crap.
Yes.
Some of the Jason movies, just ones like that.
Friday 13 Part 5.
Monster Dog, dude. You know what Monster Dog is, right?
I know what Monster Dog
Jim's
is.
got to know what Monster Dog is.
Hold on.
Alice Cooper. It has Alice Cooper in it.
Well, so does Sgt. Pepper's.
Yep. But yeah, that's how I was introduced to all these movies. Like I'd go to the video store. He's like, here's 20. Take them home.
Huh.
Watch
I'm gonna
it.
have to check this. I have not seen this. I'm gonna have to check this out.
I own it.
Monster Dog. I like it. The poster looks really cool.
I have it on Blu-ray. So, but yeah, that's how I found Conan. That's how I found the Star Trek series. That's how I found most of these movies.
Yeah, that's where I saw once the VHS happened, it was Jaws and it was Airplane and it was just everything. And I remember the old days of VHS with the tracking would be off and the top of your screen would be all like bent,
I remember that. That was great. I miss it, but Now we got high def and streaming.
Yeah. Well, like when I just watched Moonraker today, it's they put out a 50th anniversary Blu-ray set, which had like every film up to Quantum of Solace, I think. Yeah.
Oh shit.
And so this is the first time I'd seen Moonraker in forever, and the whole thing is remastered, and I'm like, God damn, that's clean, man. That looks really good. So it's good when they put in the effort and actually like they did with that Jaws 45th anniversary. Fucking, that's an amazing looking film right now.
I tell you one real quick that blow your fucking mind on Blu-ray and 4K, and I couldn't believe it.
Oh, I'm not even talking 4K, because I don't have a 4K player. I'm just talking about like the Blu-ray, the remastered Blu-ray for Star Wars, for Jaws, is like it's
that one.
mind-blowingly good, and but not so clean that you're like looking at the pores in their face. It's just clean, and it's really nice.
If you ever get a 4K player, get that Evil Dead 2. I watched a totally different movie that day. Like,
well, that's how I felt like with Jaws. Yeah, that's how I felt with Jaws. And what's funny is that's the way I felt with Jaws when I bought the 35th anniversary Blu-ray, because I was like, oh, this is holy shit. The sound is good and the picture's clean. Yeah. And then and then they did it again, and I'm like, how do you keep making it look better? How? Like, you have to at some point reach a level of like, we can't be any better than this. But they did. So maybe I would love for them to. So what did we say this Conan was? 82. So next year is the 40th anniversary, which means we're probably going to get some kind of a new Blu-ray Conan, and maybe some Star Trek stuff too.
They did that with Return of the Living Dead. That the Blu-ray for Return of the Living Dead is actually really good.
It's phenomenal. Those rain scenes, like with that little person zombie.
Yeah. Yep.
That scene freaked me out when I was a kid, and when I saw it on Blu-ray, it freaked me out even worse. Because he was back in the room, and I was like,
I like that. Every time when they're driving the police car, you could see the cameraman.
Oh yeah,
the blinking red light in the car, filming.
Okay, sorry, we got off track, but yeah, Conan for me.
So yeah, and I'm oh boy, Khan. So I take it you're going to Conan.
Yeah.
I hadn't decided actually.
Are you gonna do David? Are you gonna do both?
No. There has to one. I feel like one has to be
only one.
I feel like there has to be one here. Because even though they're different genres, they are still both basically fantasy films.
Rewatchability, Wrath of Khan, you don't have to. The rewatchability is probably less than Conan.
It's really hard. I think there's probably some. I think some of the stuff in Khan for me that kind of is like, okay, whatever, is the whole like David is his son stuff. I'm like, I get it. I mean, they're going to kill him, and it's character development, and whatever. So I understand why it's there. I don't want it there, but I feel like some of that stuff kind of slows things down a little in Star Trek, whereas Conan just kind of keeps going. He gets into something, and then he goes on to something else, and he gets into something, he goes on to something else. His chick dies, and he goes and tears the place up, and I think I do like the James Horner soundtrack for Star Trek. It's really strong. It is really strong. What's really funny though, I want you guys. Do you guys have Star Trek 2?
Oh hell yeah.
Do you have Krull?
I don't have Krull.
I need to get it.
You have to get them. You have to watch them, and you have to do it back to back. Okay, because they're both scored by James Horner.
Right.
Oh Jesus.
All right. And they are almost identical scores. Like I could pick a score out of the Krull soundtrack and play it for you, and you'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's Star Trek." And I'd be like, "No, that's Krull."
Damn.
So it's really, really strange. And I only know that because I got the Krull soundtrack recently, and I'm playing it, and I'm like, this sounds exactly like Star Trek. Like
He's really,
I can see the Enterprise leaving moorings right now. This music, like,
he's
this is really weird.
He's really good at science fiction soundtracks,
Yeah.
like he did
Oh, yeah.
Aliens. So, and
Yeah. I am. Oh man, I'm gonna take Conan. I'm gonna go with Conan.
oh,
I'm just going with Conan.
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
James
yeah.
Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. It's another one of these like Cannonball Run and Raiders. Like it's really close.
That's a close on that one.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Cannonball, or I'm gonna go with Conan. So again, we will go to the Rotten Tomatoes scores.
This will be interesting.
Khan is obviously high, 90%, lower than Raiders of the Lost Ark at 96. At 96. Weird. So Khan is at 90%. Conan is still surprisingly low for me, though, much higher than Cannonball at 74%.
No, what people?
Well, I mean, when you think about it, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger as an actor. He was really still green in that movie. As an actor, he's just. I'm
going to take my sword. I'm going to kill you. It's going to happen.
Basically, like they don't give him dialogue; they just give him a story. They're like, "Have at it, bud."
Yeah, just go. Just go. Script. Don't worry about it. Go.
There's no script. Throw it out the window.
The only one that got a script was James Earl Jones. Everyone else was just winging it.
Darth Vader got the script for that movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now I'm excited about the next one. I think the next one. Is the next one
the 93 one?
The 93 one?
No, we have 87.
Oh yeah, 80, yeah. This is the one.
Which one's that one?
87. This is one that's going to be difficult because they're polar opposites. Polar opposites, and each one is a genre and a type of film that is going to either attract or completely oppose what you're interested in.
Figured out.
And it's Hellraiser, the first Hellraiser, and Full Metal Jacket.
Yep.
This is 1987. 1987. What do we have? Stanley Kubrick versus
Clive Barker.
Clive Barker. Stanley Kubrick versus Clive Barker. I saw neither of these in the theater. I will give full disclosure. I've never been a Hellraiser fan. Specifically, I don't hate it, but I'm not. Ooh, Hellraiser. My favorite Hellraiser of the series is I think it's the fourth one, Bloodline. I think it's Bloodline, where they show the origin of the box and the demon girl from back in the day. I like that one a lot. Like that one made sense to me. All the other Hellraisers are like, what is happening? I literally don't understand like motivations of characters. Like when they these things finally show up, they're like tearing. It's like, yeah, finally open the box. Okay, now we're tearing you apart. Like I literally don't understand it. So maybe one of you can explain it to me. This is why we're here. Who's picking Hellraiser?
I think David's gonna pick it, and I will pick Full Metal Jacket. However, I will say that like the first hour of Full Metal Jacket, because the rest of Full Metal Jacket, I'm just like, because the whole boot camp scene, I can relate. There's so many reasons why I relate to that, and anyone who's ever like served in the military can relate to that. And it's just, I mean, it's such amazing acting from a literal drill sergeant.
That's true.
I mean, just that whole thing. It's really great, but. Yeah, I'll go Full Metal. Because I like Stanley. I like Stan Kubrick, so I'll go Stanley.
Yeah, so go with Full Metal Jacket. Now I know what you're talking about, and this is kind of like a Stripes thing for me. Like boot camp was great, and then when they get to Europe, it's kind of like yeah. But in Full Metal Jacket, I like it all the way through. It is a fucking I mean, Stanley Kubrick was there to show you how fucked up war is. I mean that is Full Metal Jacket, because when you get to Vietnam and you get to the finale, that's a horrific scene. I mean, Platoon is the same way, Oliver Stone.
Yeah.
Platoon came out the year after that, and for me, I love Platoon a lot more because it's more focused on the ensemble as opposed to in Full Metal Jacket, it's just Private Joker mostly, and then But then the ending of Full Metal Jacket, where they're singing the Mickey Mouse Club song, they're doing that, and the reason why he had that in the movie was because how can these men go over there and do something so horrible, and the only way to relieve themselves from it is by singing the Mickey Mouse theme song? Like that's like I just killed like all these guys that were shooting at me. I'm gonna sing the Mickey Mouse song.
Yep.
They're all singing it. It's fucked up. And the snipers are like, go out and get him, and bah! And all that tragedy and all that,
oh yeah,
like the last like what 30-40 minutes was all caused by a 17-year-old kid, basically. Like it wasn't like a trained sniper, it was a kid that was sniping these guys, and they were getting their asses kicked.
Yeah.
Also, mind you, that was filmed in England. That was not filmed in the Philippines. It was not filmed in Vietnam. It was filmed in England, and Kubrick literally flew in trees for the set. So as far as set design goes, I'd probably have to go again with Full Metal Jacket. Yeah, comparing it to Hellraiser, there's a lot of the set design was a lot better.
Watch it.
He had more. Look, Stanley had had a bigger budget than Hellraiser.
Well, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, Clive Barker had a box and a room.
He had a box, a room, and some chains.
Okay, but I will beg to differ for you guys not to like that resurrection.
Go ahead.
scene.
Go ahead. Go.
Oh, it's my turn?
It's your turn. Take the reins.
Jesus.
Tell me all about Hellraiser, because
Jesus
honestly,
wept.
I don't get it.
Okay, well, basically what it is if you don't get it, I understand. It's basically about you. Basically, Clive Barker wanted to make a sadomasochistic movie in horror. That's basically what he done. When he wrote the story, that's basically what it is. But it's about you having to answer to your sins. You have to answer to what you've done in life. Like the box is like that symbol, and like the whole story basically is just about Frank escaping hell. Frank is
so that's the guy that's like a big pile of mush, and he keeps getting built up, right?
Yeah.
So that's what's happening. He's escaping the Cenobites. That's what's happening.
He's escaping.
Yeah,
hell.
Frank.
Okay.
He's just a fucking pervert. We're gonna say it. So he comes back to seduce his brother's wife again because they had an affair when he was alive, and he got killed. And so, like,
and did they explain how he escaped from hell?
Yeah, they done that actually in the second one. They did it the first one. Well, in this one, basically, what happened is the wife and I always forget their names, and the uncle moved back into their old house, Frank's old house,
right?
And when he went in to do something, and he went
he
in,
cut
he was moving a mattress, and he cut his hand on a nail, and the blood fell on the floor.
Right.
Well, kind of find out, Frank was like haunting the place, and when he got the blood, that's when he started forming. So basically, what she would do is she would kill people and bring him back, and they'd like suck him like a Slurpee and bring him back to life. So when Kirsten comes in the picture, Frank was actually like molesting her daughter. So like when she come back, she finds the box, unlocks them, and the Cenobites is trying to find Frank. Actually, and a really cool deal about this, Cenobites is only in it for like 10 minutes. They're not in it that long.
Yeah, which is
so
a problem for me.
The story is like when she unlocks the box, it's the Cenobites going over to get Frank to put back into hell.
So that does help me a lot, actually, because I and again, I haven't seen this in a long time, but I was very confused by what the hell was happening in this thing.
Well, and basically what happens at the ending is, spoiler alert, I'm sorry if you guys haven't seen it, and sorry, Tom, like, Frank gets his brother's skin and becomes him. So he's hiding out in his skin.
Yeah.
So that's why at the ending where you see him hanging up with all the chains, and he goes, "Then Jesus wept," and that's when they rip him apart.
Yeah, the
Because it's
Cenobites
him,
find out. They're like,
because it's in
wait a
his
minute,
skin.
so that's Frank, and they're like, motherfucker, and they rip the
Yeah. So that's the basic story. Now 2 goes into it even deeper. It's the 2
Right.
is about the girl and how she becomes. I'm not going to get into it, but yeah, Hellraiser's always been one of my favorites. Like I met Doug Bradley. I've talked to him. Nice, super nice guy. And also I didn't get to meet him, but I got his autograph. Christy met him. Christy met R.L. Emery from Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
And got his autograph. So he's a super nice guy. So I've got autographs in both movies.
Yeah, the thing
I
with
love both movies. I'm not going to say Full Metal Jacket's a piece of crap. I like that movie. I'm a huge Stanley Kubrick fan. But yeah, Hellraiser, me being a horror fan, even though he's in it for 10 minutes, the main Cenobite, god damn, I can't believe I can't remember this.
yeah, it's what you get at Cinnabon.
You don't have
Yeah, you order pizza and you get 10 Cenobites free.
Yeah, Cinnabites.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, he became a iconic horror figure. I watched over the years how he rose up to be like the new Freddy, the new Jason,
Freddy,
the new
yeah.
Michael Myers. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's near and dear to my heart.
And the thing with Hellraiser, if they had maybe like Frank in the chains and everything as the poster, I don't think they would have been like, let's explore this Cenobite guy more. They would probably been like, all right, that's enough for now.
Exactly.
Hellraiser becomes basically what, like you said, he becomes the next Freddy Krueger. He becomes the next horror icon. But in reality, like, it's not really about those guys at all.
No.
Like, they're involved, but it's really Frank and the ex-wife or
the
wife,
affair,
the love affair. It's really about those two. Like, how horrible people, what kind of horrible people they are.
And not a lot of people know this. Don't ask which one, Jim. You probably have to look it up. Henry Cavill, Superman himself, is in the newer ones.
Well, there's 9 sequels, so
he's in one of them. I think it's 8.
Let's see. 9
Ain't got no time for that.
There was 2 that came out in 2005.
Yeah, and they were oh god, I've got a long story. No,
those are probably the ones that he's in.
No, that was the Great Value Pinhead.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, when it
Pinhead's
wasn't Brett, you recast him. Yeah,
yeah.
Great Value Pinhead.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The Hellraiser series, it's a weird series to follow. And like when you watch Hellraiser 2, and it's like, I remember, like, I was human, like, what the fuck? Like, and then all of a sudden, now all the bad guys are turning against, they're teaming up with the good guys to take down the other bad guy, but then you get to there's like 8 more sequels where they're bad guys again, and I don't get it. It's a box.
Tell me
3 and that's it.
Tell me another Clive Barker movie.
Nightbreed.
Yeah.
What is it?
Nightbreed.
Tell me another one.
Hellraiser 2, Hellbound.
Yeah, he did do Hellraiser 2, Hellbound, but I was trying to think there was another one. Rawhead Rex.
Tell me another one.
Tom, I'm a horror guy, not a.
My point is, I don't think I've seen anything this guy's done as far as Clive Barker goes. Like all of the movies, like I've seen Hellraiser. I've seen the first 4 Hellraisers, just because my friends were into it. But I think that I think Clive Barker is just one of these guys that is not doing something for me. You know what I mean? Like it's not for me.
Yeah.
It's like the guy who did the zombie movies early,
Romero.
Romero. Like they're just not for me. I just don't care. And because it's like interesting because like there's John Carpenter, right? And John Carpenter's very on and off for me. I love some of this and I hate some of this. And so there's a lot of these guys that have these like really big careers that I just am like I can't, something's not connecting for me. And I don't know why.
Clive Barker, he's a writer, he wrote a lot of things, but as far as like movies go, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, because he's like got books and shit, right? Clive Barker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
He's got a lot
he
of
was a prolific writer before then. He was well known. He was like almost as good as Stephen King.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And then
That's what I thought.
when they decided to make Hellraiser, he's like, I want to direct it. He's like, that's the only way it's going to get made. I'm going to direct it. And he directed the movie, and it went from there.
On a $1 million budget, it made $14 million, spawning 9 sequels.
Doesn't suck.
Largest horror franchises.
Doesn't suck.
But his involvement stopped after what, the third movie?
Yeah, his involvement stopped after the third movie. The fourth one, a company bought it out and started making them. I forgot what the company was. I think it was Lionsgate. I think.
All
I know is there's a puzzle box in space, and that's fucking awesome.
Dimension.
Yeah, that was actually fourth one was actually
Miramax.
not too bad.
Miramax.
Yeah, took them over.
Oh boy, Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, that son of a bitch. Never mind.
Now this next one.
So Dave, I have bad news for you.
Yes.
Oh, you're gonna go Full Metal Jacket. I know that.
You've lost on this one. You did.
I
well, now I will say that your explanation helped a lot, and I'm probably going to go back and watch this again with a different mindset, and I want to see it again now that I kind of maybe understand what the fuck the point is.
At least watch 1 and 2.
Yeah.
3, nah.
Well, 3 has Terry Farrell in it. 3 has Terry Farrell in it.
Yeah, I know, and she's hot in it. But if you watch 3 is kind of hard to get. I can't find it. Like, I'm wanting it and I can't find it.
You know what's funny is I went to see Terry Farrell at a sci-fi convention, and we went to go see her panel, right? And then right after her panel, she was going to go do signatures, and so for the whole day, I was like, I'll get something for her to sign, and then we'll go. And I didn't do it. So by the time I got to it was time to go get pictures, I was like, how can there not be a Jadzia Dax photo somewhere in this room for her to sign? And there wasn't. They were
holy crap
gone. So what do I have? I have a Hellraiser 3 photo by Terry Farrell.
If you ever want to part with that.
So we're going to say that Full Metal Jacket is the winner here. I will give you the this is kind of interesting. The Rotten Tomatoes, Full Metal Jacket has a 94% rating.
Damn.
That feels really high for a war movie.
That's actually really good.
The military really boosted that movie up really good. Got a lot of support there. A lot of vets are making those reviews.
I guess that's fair.
The authenticity of the film is very well done.
I do agree with that.
And Hellraiser is based on what we're seeing on some of these other movies, like Conan and some other stuff. It's one of these things that, well, for me, it's probably too high because I don't.
Yeah.
But it's 72%.
Damn. Wow. It's higher than I thought it was going to be.
So yeah. So interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. So we got about 30 minutes left here. And I did have two more that we could do. But I think we're only going to have time for one. So we're going to save the surprise one for another time. And we're going to do the one that I think is a good really good discussion. This is 1993 now, folks. 1993. Again,
the year I was born.
It's so weird that these came out in the same year. It's so bizarre to me.
They came out the same year as me.
And it is Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park, and Tombstone. This is the first of all of these movies that I have seen both of them in the theater.
Yep.
I love them both. I remember. I'll tell you this about Jurassic Park. So Jurassic Park, the theater's packed. I mean, obviously, I'm there with a friend of mine, and he's on this side, and I'm here, and I'm sitting on the aisle, right? And we're watching the movie, and I'm really into it, and it's really good. And right when they get to the Tyrannosaur paddock, and not the first time when nothing shows up, but when it's raining and things are about to happen, my chair breaks out from under me.
Oh damn!
right? So like the cushion seat, and it like swivels up and down like this, right? On this side, it breaks, and I'm like this. So I'm in the middle of Jurassic Park, like opening weekend Jurassic Park, and I'm trying to like hold my seat because there's nowhere for me to go. So I'm literally watching the movie, holding my seat up with one hand, watching the second half of Jurassic Park, and
my god,
I was fully in. Like I was like, yeah, I got this. Just go, keep going.
Did it scare the hell out of you?
Oh hell yeah! Because literally, I was just like,
I
was sitting watching, and it's like,
bam.
That happened. That situation happened. We went to go see the Hunchback of Notre Dame Disney cartoon movie, and I'll never forget the people in the row in front of us. There was a lady that was sitting there, and all of a sudden we're watching. They were singing and doing the whole Disney thing, and that chair just fucking went down, and she fell. M&Ms were everywhere.
Oh shit!
She wasn't a big lady; she was just a normal sized woman. I was like, but it like burned into my brain, like, oh my god, like that could happen.
See, now that happened to me on Batman versus Superman. I went and saw Batman versus Superman, but it was those goddamn electric chairs. And mine just decided
the ones that vibrate.
Yeah. And I went all the way back, and I couldn't get back up in my chair, and I was like, it's Batman versus Superman going. And like. They finally had to come back, and they're like here, and they just like done something in the back real quick, and it goes whoomp and came back up. I was like, okay, I'm good. And I was always afraid of those damn electric chairs. After that, I was like, you bastards.
I can just see it like the T-Rex comes out, and I was like, woo.
Tom's like shit.
Yeah, I dumped. I just dumped.
Probably both times.
You were like the lawyer sitting in the bathroom.
Yeah. That was it.
Damn, dude.
Oh man. So that's my Jurassic Park story. So Jim, which way you going here?
Oh, that's tough because as a kid, I mean, most kids, they love dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are awesome. They're the big thing. In the 90s, they were really dinosaurs were like coming back. They were coming back strong. There were so many dinosaurs. They brought Turok back to comic books. They brought him into the video games. Turok, the dinosaur hunter. Even though like most of the game he's killing like aliens and shit, but whatever.
It was hard as shit.
You get Jurassic Park, then you get Jurassic Park 2, Lost World, and then you get Godzilla, like all of which come out within 5 years of each other. You get all
they had Dragonheart too.
Dragonheart, yeah, and like Jurassic Park. I mean, I got I had the 3D glasses, the red and blue 3D glasses for Jurassic Park. Came with the VHS. I don't know why it was never 3D. We didn't have a 3D TV, but I had them and had the Jurassic Parks on the side.
I remember that.
It may have came from a comic book. I don't know, but it was Jurassic Park 3D glasses.
It was a comic.
Yeah, the Tops came out with it.
Yes, I totally forgot about that.
Yep. But yeah, damn, but then you got Tombstone, and I mean Kurt Russell. I mean, how can you not like Kurt Russell? America's sweetheart. He's literally America's ass right there. That is America's ass. America's mustache. No, wait, no,
America's
that's Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott,
yeah. But you got Bill Paxton. Game over, man. Oh no, wait, that's Aliens. But yeah, you got. Oh, I'm shutting back. Bill Paxton, and then oh boy, I'll be your Huckleberry. You got what's his name?
Batman.
Batman. Val Kilmer. Yeah, Val Kilmer. And then, but then, like you go over to Jurassic Park and you got, Jeff Goldblum and
Sam
Neill and Laura Dern and then like Magnificent Bastard, you did it, and like made dinosaurs, but then you're like in the Old West and you're like pow, 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 pow. Like you're going over to the OK Corral, you're fucking beating the shit out of fat Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, I mean the cast of Tombstone, when you go back and look at it now,
wow,
it's like Cannonball Run. I mean, it is just loaded with everybody.
It's great. Oh yeah, I mean, Yeah, yeah.
Jim's
That
dying.
too.
Jim's
I
dying.
know.
Come on, Jim.
So
Tombstone
which
is
way are you
real.
going? Which way are you going?
Tombstone happened in real life.
This is true. Yep.
However, I mean, we're still at the point to where Jurassic Park could happen, but
Hey, we just
It's
cloned
close.
turrets.
It's close.
we're getting there.
We're getting there.
And you got the guy, clever girl, and then bah, and then dead. Like he's got the
Okay,
badass
clever girl.
shotgun. Never like he gets to shoot it one time. You don't get to see him like fuck raptors up. He's not going in like bah bah bah.
No,
He's
he's dead.
fucking. Now
It was
then
like-
you have the kid factor. Then you have kids in danger. So you know there's no kid that's gonna get eaten by a dinosaur. At least in the first Jurassic Park. Second Jurassic Park, hands down, that little girl got eaten by those tiny dinosaurs. But
Damn straight.
she definitely did.
No, she
got
Oh,
it.
yeah, she did.
It literally
alive.
says she's fine.
No,
It,
not
those
even
lying
like no
bastards.
bullshit. She was feeding them a hot dog and then they ate her.
She's like, they're
He's
like,
like-
oh, hot dog. Oh,
She's
human.
like, here's the appetizer, and now we're gonna eat you.
Clever girl.
Clever girl. She wasn't that clever. She got eaten. But that's
Clever
why.
girl.
Yeah, and then Jeff Goldblum comes back for the sequel, but there's no sequel to Tombstone. But it was real life,
There is
and
that
there was
whole
a writer.
Jeff Goldblum scene where he's like, with the shirt, you know.
Oh
like-
yeah, and then
David's trying to do the Goldblum.
I'm trying. I just like I'm hurting. What's
see,
he say on
I-
the scene?
ask
Fine.
David.
All right, so Jim doesn't know. So David, what are your
Okay.
experiences with this movies
Here-
and where are you going?
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull a ass move, and like I normally do. I love Jurassic Park when I was a kid. When I was younger, I love that damn movie. Every second I saw it in the theater a few times. I think 5 times in the theater, if I remember right. I loved everything about it. It was basically, I remember, because I loved horror movies, to me it was like a kid's horror movie. I remember McDonald's pulling the toys from the Happy Meals because they're like, oh, this movie's too violent. We can't have these toys for the kids. So like when I was a kid, it was Jurassic Park, hands down. I mean, it was if I was gone for the weekend out of Walnut Grove and went into town, I'd sneak out and see Jurassic Park real quick. When I got older and I discovered Tombstone and what Tombstone was, and I was always a huge fan of The Thing. I was always a huge fan of Kurt Russell because I didn't see Tombstone in the theater. I saw Jurassic Park, yeah, like I said, 5 times in the theater. Tombstone I saw on videotape. And I was like, oh, this is goddamn glorious. Even when I was like, I just loved every minute of it. I love the whole, hell's coming with me scene. I wanted him to beat the shit out of Stephen Lang so goddamn bad throughout that whole damn movie. And I still, to this day, Stephen Lang and that, and I think it's On Deadly Ground with Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
Ugh. So yeah, Jurassic Park when I was a kid, and when I got older, it's God. I'd even say now it's gotta be Tombstone. That cast.
Yeah, I mean, and that's that. I mean, again, we
iconic
talked about this.
scene.
It's sometimes it's when you see these things. I mean, obviously, we're all male kids. We all like the dinosaur movies. I mean, that's obvious. We're all gonna go see that shit.
It's one of those movies where you don't see Samuel L. Jackson say motherfucker.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is one of the many movies where he does get eaten.
So for me, again, we're talking about. I'm trying to remember my Tombstone movie experience. It must not have been anything special because I have no recollection of it. I remember going. I remember going. I remember liking it. There was no seat breaking. There was no, slushy ice. Nothing happened. It was just all. It was good. I mean, we did a Western show. Like episode 3 was our Western show. And I put this at the top of my Western list back in the day, and it's still there. I don't know that anything's ever going to knock it off.
No.
But I'm not like a huge Western person, and so I think again, kind of like we talked about in that episode, when you're a genre that I don't really follow, and you make a movie that makes me go, "Oh, god damn," that means something. Whereas with Jurassic Park, you kind of automatically have me because it's dinosaurs. You know, as long as you can make your dinosaurs look good, you've probably got me, and it's fine. Even if they don't look good, you probably have me, just maybe not for a second time. I think the problem with Jurassic Park lies solely in the fact that it's an origin story, right? Because we have to go through all of the stuff of, hey, I'm Mr. DNA, and let me show you how we make dinosaurs.
Whee!
You know, so there's the first time through, it's fine because you're like, oh, how did they do this? This is cool. But then when you're watching it back, it's like, it's frog DNA. Can we get to the part where they eat the guy in the toilet? You know,
toilet cuisine.
Yeah. So I think that's where Jurassic Park falls short, and I think we're going to do a Jurassic Park specific show one of these days.
Yeah.
We're going to go over all of them, especially once the third one comes out for sure, the Jurassic World stuff, so that we can kind of look at it all.
What was the last one called?
Dominion or something? I don't know.
Dominion. No, that's the next one. Fallen Kingdom was the last.
Fallen Kingdom. Yeah. So we're going to do so I don't want to get too deep in Jurassic Park because we'll save that for the Jurassic Park show. But yeah, for me, Jurassic Park is not the best of the Jurassic Park franchise. I will just leave you with that teaser.
Really?
Yes. Yes. But as far as comparing these two, again, we're talking about rewatchability is a big key element here. While you have John Williams on the score for Jurassic Park, which is obviously awesome.
What?
Yes.
That awesome beginning, that when they were like riding across. And the guy, like, they show him like the little short movies, and the guy fires, and it's like dun 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 dun. Dun,
yeah. He's like blah 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 blah.
If they don't fire your ass up for a movie, you got a problem.
That was the weirdest 30 seconds in all of these shows.
Yeah, go for it. Sorry.
I'm just gonna like take that and turn it into a little clip, like dun 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 dun. Hey Tom, what's your movie guys show all about? Let me show you this clip.
Let me show you David.
Beep boop bop bop bop.
I think that I think Tombstone has its own slow moments that kind of are like, let's pick up the pace. But I think Jurassic Park has more slow moments, just because that's what it kind of had to. It didn't have a choice.
The whole eating the Jello and shaking the Jello, like, I get it. There's a dinosaur in the room. Get the fuck in the kitchen. Come on,
get your ass in the kitchen.
Oh my god. Yeah. So Jurassic Park was great. I had a great time watching it, regardless of holding up the chair the whole time. But for me, yeah. Go ahead. What?
No, I was just gonna ask. Was you like extremely sore after that whole goddamn experience?
It sucked.
It had to suck. How did you like?
You couldn't move seats?
No, it was packed, man.
No, I mean, there was. God, Jurassic Park was like.
It's opening day for this thing. I mean,
you saw it opening day. Okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
In California at like, real theater. Like I wasn't in like if I was here in Michigan, it would have been a half full theater. But at the time I lived in California, we went into Burbank, and there's 1,000 people there to go see Jurassic Park. So there are no seats. Yeah. So you just hold your seat.
Sorry,
and you just try and make it through.
And you had a Slurpee too.
No, thank God I had no food, because it would have all just been. Okay. It would have been everywhere. It would have been everywhere.
Okay, sorry, continue.
So no, I mean, for me, I think Jurassic Park suffers just because you have to go through the origin of it all, and that's the part from a rewatchability standpoint, not from a story standpoint, because it all works as a story. You need it to be there to understand what the fuck's going on. But from a rewatchability standpoint, if you were going to ask me right now, let's watch Jurassic Park or let's watch Tombstone, I'm going Tombstone.
Yeah.
I'm going Tombstone. And that's just kind of where I'm at. Are you? Do we have a clean sleep right there? All three?
I think it's got to be Tombstone for me. It's going to have to.
Yeah, I'll go Tombstone. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Tombstone.
Yeah.
Now, when Dominion comes out, then I'll go back and rewatch all the.
Well, Jurassic Park. Once Dominion comes out, we just need to do a Jurassic Park episode and go over all of them.
Did they ever announce Dominion yet, or is it
2022?
Closed, but
yeah, a lot of these things are getting pushed to next year.
Yeah.
Because they want now that could change once things like Godzilla versus Kong comes out and it's doing streaming and theaters.
Yeah.
I think the same thing's happening with Black Widow. It could change, but a lot of these studios are like, no, we want it in the theater. Like this is
I
what
don't
it's
mean to sound
meant
like
to be.
an ass. I wish they would do that Black Widow because I really don't want to go see that in the theater. I'd be happy just sitting at home and just getting pizza and be happy.
No one cares about Black Widow.
Yeah, Black
No,
Widow's
I'm
like,
that kind of
she's
that
been
way. It's
dead.
like, I
She's
wanna
been dead
see
for
it,
too
but
long.
it's not gonna get me to
That
the
that
theater.
movie is dead on arrival. Yeah, and
It
that,
should have been. It should have been released before Avengers: Infinity War or
It
Endgame.
should have been. It should have been a Disney Plus series. I'm sorry. I mean, it's probably let's go. Yeah, never mind.
But
Yeah.
I
so
don't want to get Marvel fans hating me.
the cool thing about the next Jurassic Park, though, because it's kind of exciting because you think about the last two Jurassic Worlds, it's been about Chris Pratt and Ron Howard's daughter.
Yeah, but
The next one you get the three original cast members plus BD Wong, who's kind of the glue that brings together the other two guys into this. So like BD Wong is like probably gonna be like super villain McGee.
right. Yeah,
Engine,
Yeah.
because he's like,
Which-
isn't he slowly going to Engine?
I think it's
In the
Engine,
last
but
one?
like yeah. I don't know. Well, there's a lot. There's because they did that whole bidding war thing.
Yeah, I was thinking that was
So there's a
Engine
bunch
that
of
was finally like, all the
rival-
dinosaurs up and saying, "Hey, we're gonna make Dino Wars."
But
Yeah,
but the thing
that's-
with
Should be the next one.
the thing with like if you go back and watch Jurassic Park and you see that scene of BD Wong and you just think, oh, he's just a guy who works there. He's just a guy that got a talking line and that's it. Like, what about
Okay.
those other scientists that work there?
You want to sell the next Jurassic Park on me real quick, the Jurassic World? If I'm sitting in the goddamn theater, where the hell I'm sitting when it comes out, and there's a goddamn velociraptor that walks out with missiles on him, like Dino Wars or lasers or whatever.
What are you talking about?
They're gonna weaponize the dinosaurs.
Yeah, they're gonna weaponize the dinosaurs.
No, they're not
in the last one,
weaponized.
remember?
The dinosaurs are the
They're
weapon.
gonna turn them. They're gonna
I know,
turn them
but think
into.
it was like
They were
it
trying to
looks like
train
Dino Wars,
the
dude.
dinosaurs
The
to go
Jurassic-
in and eat the enemy.
The
That's
Jurassic
not fun.
Park
We want
franchise-
dinosaurs with lasers in their eyes and shit.
The
and everything,
Jurassic
like
Park
sharks.
franchise slowly
Dinosaurs with
becomes-
freaking lasers.
Freaking laser beams.
the Jurassic Park franchise slowly becomes Planet of the Apes. It becomes Planet of the Dinosaurs.
No.
Planet of the Dinosaurs.
We fucked up and we gave them technology.
Oh shit! It's the Spaceballs.
But yeah, BD Wong. I'm looking at the cast right now. I mean, everyone else that's in it's like they have no character
Is-
names, so it's clearly
I
like
know this is a dumb question. Is Chris Pratt and what's her name go back in it?
Yeah, of
Yep.
course.
yeah,
Okay,
it brings
I didn't know if
the
they- I didn't know if they said
world
one or
and the
not.
park
I haven't heard too
together.
much about it.
Jurassic World Park, Park World, Jurassic Park World, worldwide,
Domination.
prestige worldwide.
Dinos and hoes.
They have
So-
dinosaurs with dress
So we're
code
just about
robotics.
done, guys. I'll give you this. This one was interesting. The Rotten Tomatoes audience score very, very close again. Tombstone 94%.
Yep.
Oh shit!
Jurassic Park 91%.
Wow.
So Tombstone was better than Jurassic Park. Wow, that's kind of surprising.
Granted, Jurassic Park was the highest grossing film of all time until Beavis and Butthead Do America came out.
Exactly.
And then Titanic.
That's what made
Actually,
it
no,
fall.
Beavis and Butthead. Actually, I looked this up the other day. Beavis and Butthead Do America had the biggest opening box office for December until Titanic came out the next year.
Oh Jesus!
So technically, Beavis and Butthead was the highest grossing December release film until Titanic.
Wow.
How crazy is that?
That's pretty terrible.
I'm not even going to answer that.
That's a terrible statement on our society.
It is.
It was a simpler time. It was the 90s. You know, we were making cartoon movies about two guys who liked Metallica and AC/DC, and they liked criticizing music videos, and they didn't do it the whole movie.
No, what?
The whole movie, there's no criticizing of music videos in the movie.
What was
What?
that? There wasn't.
No. I mean, there was great. Now, you had a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like, you had Rob
I heard
Zombie's
the
in it.
soundtrack.
Rob Zombie soundtrack, I mean, it was a great soundtrack, but yeah, there's no critiquing of music videos. It's them going to the White House, Cornholio, and then
Cornholio.
yeah. Bruce Willis and Demi Moore.
Yep. Now,
All I remember about Beavis and Butthead is they had a kid come on, another kid, and he had a winger shirt.
Stuart. Yeah.
Winger, yeah. I remember the winger shirt. I remember nothing else.
Winger. The biggest claim to fame for Winger.
Winger.
They got to be. They got featured on Beavis and Butthead. Like, yeah, man. Yeah, only wieners wear those shirts. Only like wimps. Ooh, I got my winger shirt on. Like, nah, that's how you know Mike Judge's humor. He's like, yeah, winger ain't cool.
Christy had the biggest crush on Kip Winger growing up, and
I think everybody.
Like, have you seen him lately? I'm like, no.
He does. I mean, he's not fat. He's skinny.
No,
still.
He
was in Playgirl.
He was what?
He was in Playgirl magazine.
Yeah. Like recently?
No.
Back in the day.
Like
a 60-year-old.
Okay. That's what I was saying. I was like, yeah, must look pretty fucking good if he's in it now.
Now, Ethan Suplee was in Playgirl recently. And you may remember him as the fat guy in all those movies. Like, what was it?
Oh, yeah, who's lost like 300 pounds.
Is that like the Butterfly Flick dude? Nolan?
Yeah,
played on
that guy.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, he's got abs, but he's got a lot of loose skin, but he's got abs.
He's got money. He should be able to just get that all tied up.
Yeah, right.
Christy actually has, I know this is kind of like TMI, but she actually has the Brad Pitt issue that was like recalled.
Why was it recalled?
Because Brad Pitt was in it, he like sued them and they like made him recall every one of them. But she still got hers. She got a subscription to Playgirl 1 year and is actually one of them. She's like, I'm keeping the son of a bitch. They ain't getting it back.
Yeah, well, it's like whenever they like try to recall comic books, it's like it's too late. I already sold it to the customers. Like, no one like does any retailer ever like, oh, I got to ship it back to whatever company.
I remember when McFarlane made Sin City toys. And they made an electric Marv on the thing, and he would shake on the electric chair.
Yep.
And they got recalled, and I was like, "Fuck you! I'm not sending that back. I'm doubling the price."
You got one?
No, this is back when I was running comic book stores.
Oh shit, man! I was gonna say if you had one, that stuff is expensive now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Damn.
You damn kids whacking off of my tool shed again.
You're on my tool shed. Oh, right there. That's what said it.
Wow.
The boys are here to fix the TV. There ain't nothing wrong with the TV.
There's nothing wrong with TV.
They're all playing the movies so they can watch TV. And they can buy a new TV.
So what's one we could just like, we got like just a little bit longer. What's one we could just like think off the top of our heads?
For what?
Just like a small little debate.
Star Wars.
Even some blood into America, South Park, larger, longer, and uncut.
And Team America.
Oh God, Team America. All I remember is the puppets fucking. That's the only thing I remember about that damn movie.
I remember,
and I was like, "What the hell am I watching?" Yeah. Oh my God! And I got the unrated.
It came out at the right time. They knew what they were doing. It was great, fantastic. There were sharks in it. Sharks eating.
Oh yeah, there were sharks in it.
Yeah. Oh man,
I remember those sharks. Those plenty of sharks in it.
But one thing that I really love though about the South Park movie is Trey Parker losing to Phil Collins and getting so pissed off about it that he makes fun of Phil Collins in that following season of South Park. Like there's Phil Collins Hill, and then like there's the one where it's Timmy and the Crips and they're opening for Phil Collins, and then but it's like, and then like they're doing like parody songs of Phil Collins. He's like, like you'll be in me. You'll be instead of you'll be in my heart.
Yeah, you'll be in my heart. You'll be in me. I remember, and I was old. Like I forgot how old I was, but when the South Park movie came out, like my whole family went and saw it. Like we're that demented, but we all went and saw it. And I walked in, I got carded, and I was like, "Why the hell am I getting carded for this? It can't be that bad." Holy crap. My dad was sitting there and he's like, "What the hell am I watching?" My mom's laughing her ass off. She thought it was hilarious.
It's fun. I mean, it's at one point in time, it was ranked like number 2 or 3 on funniest films of all time. Number 1 was Animal House.
Yep.
But I feel like if you were
Oh.
going to do the rankings today, I don't think those would be even in the top 10 because of all the millennials. Although there's a lot of good comedy movies that have come out though since they've done that list. I mean, The Hangover, the first one. Oh my god, it's great.
First one's
I
good.
still need to see Tom. I don't know why I remember this also. I still need to see Sex Drive.
Yes,
That's
you do.
good.
Yes, you do.
I haven't seen that one.
And
I'm pretty much like of the opinion that if Clark Duke is in it, it's probably good.
Yeah. And
yeah, I love how it's like, put down your hands. I can't. He shoots him. He's in a donut suit.
I haven't seen that.
It's good. Yeah, so there's you have to see Sex Drive and you have to see Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. That's your homework.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. I think I have it. I'm gonna look again to make sure, but I forgot. I'll have to show this to Tom. I'll have to get it back out and show you. I have a really cool edition of Godzilla and Ghidorah. It was in like a black case as DVD.
Okay.
And yeah, I got it from Mom and like because Mom loved Godzilla. But it's actually Ghidorah. They call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's his
So
name.
that's what I showed you. I was like, I thought that was cool. I don't know if you ever heard of it or not, or if you probably have it.
I'd have to see it. I have no clue.
Yeah, I'll have to get it out. And
they have done so many different versions. There's been so many different licensed things over the 67 years of Godzilla. So it could be almost anything.
Black and white.
The case is black and white?
Yeah.
Ooh, fancy.
It's like an original black and white version. I'm not lying.
There's only 2 Godzilla movies in black and white.
Okay.
Neither of them are Ghidorah.
Okay.
Maybe it's a bootleg.
No, this was an expensive ass DVD that came out. I was like, I bought it for Mom for Christmas, and she's like, "Ooh, we gotta watch it." I'm like, "Well, shit, yeah, I bought it for you. It cost like $50.
We better watch it.
Better watch the damn thing."
My fucking uncle got that goddamn the Lethal Weapon series on Blu-ray, but it was only released in the UK, and he got it imported to America. And I remember we watched the first Lethal Weapon, and then he goes, "All right, let's put in." We literally watched the first 3 Lethal Weapons in one day, and I was so burnt out at that point. I was like, I've seen these movies. I know, and he's explaining he listened to all the commentary, but we didn't listen to the commentary tracks. We just watched the movie, and he repeated the commentary between Mel Gibson and Danny Glover.
Oh, geez.
But yeah, these are why these DVDs are important, is because Mel Gibson and Danny Glover do commentary on the UK version, but they don't do it on the American version.
Oh,
and
shit.
When we got to Lethal Weapon 2, he tells my cousin, "Hey, go put number 2 in." He goes, "Okay," and he grabs the thing, rips the plastic off, pulls out 2, and then takes the disc out, and he goes, "What are you doing? Why'd you rip the plastic off?" It's like, that's what you're supposed to do with movies. You're supposed to take the plastic off in order to get the thing out. And he's like, "I had special cuts in it so you could slide it out of the plastic and then put it back into the plastic." It's like, what the fuck?
You want to know what's funny? My Friday the 13th box set.
Yeah.
I have it cut so that only the discs come out.
I don't get it. It's so weird. It's like, just take it out, man.
I get it.
Well, and the only reason I did that is because I don't have my own place yet, and so if I just had I can put it on the shelf, I'd be like, "Yep, bonk, done."
Yeah.
But because I'm gonna have to pack all this shit up, and I don't want it getting jacked up.
Oh God.
And Tom, what are we ordering next week?
What are we ordering?
Yeah, what are we ordering next week?
Domino's.
Pre-order. No. What did we both see on Best Buy Steelbook the other day?
Oh,
Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing.
Right.
Dirty Dancing Steelbook.
Hell, I'll buy that.
$19.99 comes out in May.
Dirty Dancing Steelbook. Yes.
I've had time of my life.
It's a happening.
Which means I have, I mean, that's just a replacement. I have the Blu-ray, but I will replace it.
Don't put Blu-ray in the corner.
It goes in the pile of shit that I don't need anymore, which is growing at a ridiculous rate. So one of these days, these movie guys is going to have a Blu-ray sale. Here you go.
Shit.
We
I'll
have a
save
shit
some money
ton of
back.
DVDs and Blu-rays for sale.
Oh
I'll
my
be
god!
like, that one, please, Tom. That one, that one, that one, that one.
I mean, literally, I went downstairs when I got back from Arizona because I had all this stuff I bought from Zia Records, and I was like putting it all away, and I was like, oh fuck, I think I have so much of this downstairs. So I go downstairs in the DVD boxes, and I'm like, got it. It's like, oh my god, it's like 50 DVDs that I have Blu-ray now.
Holy shit!
That I'm just like, some of them I'm keeping. Like, I don't get rid of the old Godzilla stuff.
No.
And stuff. But there's a bunch of it that I'm just like, oh, I have it upgraded now, so I'm happy to move it on to somebody that that wants it, that doesn't have it, because a lot of times these things go out of print too. So you got to kind of pay attention to that.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You do that. I'll have monies on me for sure.
I didn't mean sell it to you. I meant sell it to the audience.
Hey, I can be part of the audience.
You can buy it too if you want.
For a second and be in
It's
the
fine.
audience.
It's fine.
No,
It's fine.
Chrissy will be in the audience.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah.
So I'll make her take off that night.
So guys, that is 2 hours we have rolled over. This was an awesome show.
Yeah.
Coming back next week, guys, we are going to be rebranding ourselves. That won't be us anymore because there's like 800 other people that are using that name.
We could be the TM guys, and then when people ask, we could say it stands for those movie guys. TM guy. Oh, the trademark guys. Oh my god, we could sue all those movie guys once we get the trademark.
The trademark guys.
Oh, I got it. Those movie guys from outer space.
Remember how I was marking off bad ideas on Saturday night? Yeah. Go ahead and just mark that one off.
It's like Killer Clowns, but we just add outer space to the title.
No, it's like Plan 9 from outer space, right?
Yeah. Or Joro from outer space.
Three guys from outer space.
3 guys from outer space. Third rock from the sun. I'm telling you, if we just put Seinfeld as our title, we'll get a lot of
Seinfeld, third Seinfeld from the sun.
those Seinfeld guys.
Won't they just call us the French ticklers? Something like that.
Or like I don't know. I got nothing.
We'll figure it out. But we'll be back next week, guys. Actually, just so you all know, and Jim, we kind of talked about doing this next week. We were going to debut our thing on the 28th. If you recall.
That thing.
Yeah. But I think what we'll do is we'll push that. We'll just do something on Monday on the 1st. So that'll give episode 11 here its proper time. And then Jim and I will be announcing our summer thing on March 1st. And also watch this coming week on Thursday. It is Toast Day. Yay! And Mr. Noble has the Killer Toaster comic coming out on Thursday. You'll be able to watch him with Phil Locklear on Demon Nation. They'll be doing a show on Thursday as the book comes out. So watch out for that. We will decide what we're going to be called. We will decide what we're going to talk about.
Those toaster guys.
Those toaster
guys. Toasted guys.
Toasted, yeah. Toasted.
What are we doing next week?
I don't know. I just said we're going to figure it out.
Oh yeah. Those figure it out guys.
We could have like a show next week to figure out what our names would be.
We could be the untitled, the untitled movie guys.
Yeah.
TBA, to be announced.
We could be like the NC-17. No, wait, no, that's not cool enough.
The NC-17 Raiders.
We'll think of something. We'll think of something, folks.
We'll think of something. Thanks for hanging out, guys. This was super fun. We will definitely do another Nerd Wars episode at some point in the future. Keep your eyes open for the new branding, the new name. Keep your eyes open for the next subject coming next Sunday, the 28th of February. See y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.